From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Evening Edition.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Brian Hackney.
And I'm Andrea Nakano. We begin in Oakland now, just 2 weeks away from the special election following the recall of former Mayor Sheng Tao.
Two top contenders campaigning to be the next mayor. At the top of the ballot, former Congresswoman Barbara Lee and former Oakland City Council member Lauren Taylor. They are both Democrats, but have two very different approaches to solving Oakland's problems. Lee is viewed as the more establishment candidate. Taylor, on the other hand, calling for change. With 2 weekends before ballots are cast, the two spent today talking to voters around Oakland. Don Lynn's got the story.
Knocking on doors.
Hi there, good morning.
Shaking hands and answering questions. The two leading mayoral candidates met with dozens of people on Saturday to earn their votes.
Lauren Taylor.
Nice to meet you, Lauren.
Nice to meet you too. Yes.
Thanks for coming by.
Absolutely. You familiar with the upcoming election for mayor? Cool. Are there any questions I can answer for you?
Lauren Taylor spent hours in the Laurel district going from door to door to answer questions about how he would fix the city.
What plans do you have for the city?
The three main priorities.
Okay.
We have to keep the city safe, we have to clean it up, and we have to make more opportunities for people. So jobs, careers, and businesses, supporting businesses that are here.
Taylor spent roughly 5 to 10 minutes with each voter, some already planning to vote for him, others who are undecided, like this voter.
3 academies per year for 3 years is what I believe is necessary to get us to 800 officers.
Taylor explained to voters how he would improve safety and prevent bankruptcy. The city is facing a large budget deficit, roughly $130 million. A few miles away, Barbara Lee met with voters in front of City Hall for a peace rally.
We're walking precincts, we're phone banking, we're here at our peace movement activity.
Lee has already earned endorsements from labor unions, many politicians, and most of the Oakland council members.
This is about making sure that people in Oakland know that we're going to come together, have a seat at the table, everyone, to solve our problems.
While Taylor acknowledged Lee has the name recognition, he's optimistic he can win over voters by meeting them where they are.
Can I count on your vote?
You're much closer than you were. I've not made up my mind yet.
All good, all good.
Taylor lost in the last mayoral election by less than 700 votes. Both he and Lee know it's very important to get out the vote to get their supporters to vote. By the way, the special election is on April 15th.
It's not just the mayor's office up for grabs. Next month, voters will also choose a new city council member for District 2, which includes neighborhoods like Chinatown, Eastlake, and San Antonio. There's also a measure to raise the city's sales tax by a ½ cent. Darren?
Well, you probably noticed the clouds were starting to build out there today. We certainly had that view no matter where you were in the Bay Area today. That's our view, by the way. That's a live look out the window here on the virtual set. But take a look at the high-resolution satellite, and you can see what's coming out right off the coast. There's the system responsible for all these clouds. Right now, it's just clouds sitting over here. But if we remove the clouds, and I want to show you what happens over the next, let's say, 5 hours. The rain slowly works its way towards us, and we're going to get some showers tonight. It's going to be pretty light until we get past midnight. And then the rain's going to pick up a little bit in intensity from that once we get into the pre-dawn hours. Let me put a little forecast imagery on that just to kind of give you a better handle on what that will look like. See our time frame up here. We're taking a look all the way ahead to Monday. Let's bring that back, and let's take that. There's the replay of how the rain comes together for us. So we're going to see the showers show up by the time we get to about, say, 10, 11 o'clock tonight, really light. This stuff might not even be measurable at that point. So let's go to the point where the rain becomes more noticeable. That certainly is, but that's not getting here till like 3 a.m. And that's probably the best rain we're going to get through the entirety of Monday, before sunrise. But it'll keep raining, so let's just play it forward. Best rain happens before sunrise, but here we are in the early morning hours. This is around 7:30. We're still getting rain, on again, off again showers. Here we are late morning, same story. And then by the afternoon, things will begin to quiet down. We can't really turn the rain off completely until we get to like the late afternoon tomorrow. There's 2 more rounds coming after this. Monday's got rain, so does Tuesday. We're going to look at both of those in the full forecast. For now, Brian, back to you.
All righty, Darren, thank you very much. It has been 50 years since the fall of Saigon after the U.S. withdrew its troops from Vietnam. And today, those who fought in that conflict gathered at the USS Hornet in Alameda for a ceremony marking National Vietnam War Veterans Day. and reflected on what lessons may have been learned or forgotten. John Ramos has that story.
The USS Hornet is a World War II-era ship, but its museum focuses on a number of armed conflicts, including Vietnam, a war that changed the way Americans view war and the country itself. Climbing the gangplank to the USS Hornet is like an ascent to the past, but it was a troubled past that was remembered on this day. The Vietnam War began as a struggle to prevent the spread of communism, but soon lost its way, along with a lot of young American soldiers. Joe Laparo spoke for them.
We lost 58,000 in Vietnam, and we've lost, by count of the government, probably another 300,000 due to Agent Orange. And we lose approximately 22 veterans a day to suicide. Be the kind of American that is worth dying for. Because those men, they deserve it.
Darren Walton was a young Marine recon ranger in 1969. He served many harrowing missions, and after the war, with the nation turning against its own warriors, he had trouble adjusting and wrote a book about his experience, partly to explain what happened, but also to try to make sense of it in his own mind.
I'm not against war, but I haven't seen a just war since I've come back from Vietnam.
But sometimes even unjust actions can have positive outcomes. Phong Law is Alameda County's tax assessor. As a young child, his family fled Vietnam in a fishing boat, and he made a life here thanks to the generosity of government services offered to refugees. And that's why he sees the current anti-immigrant campaign as misguided.
I've come to accept and realize that we're not a perfect country. We're absolutely not. We will make mistakes from time to time. America's the greatest country in the world, not because of who we exclude, but because of who we include in our land. It is those that we allow to come here, like myself, that work very hard to ensure that what we fight for and what we strive for and what we represent is true to our beliefs. That freedom that we have comes from all of you, from your service to us, but also comes from all of us in ensuring that we have the government that we want.
There are also efforts underway to cut 80,000 employees from the Veterans Administration, the source of medical and mental health benefits that so many aging Vietnam vets rely on.
It's very difficult to do the outreach that we need to do and reach all of these men. But only 1 in 5 of those men are shown to have been contacted by the VA or have had contact with them. We need to help them as veterans get the help they need.
But in the audience was Royce Swicegood, a Vietnam vet and Trump supporter from Union City. He simply doesn't believe the proposed cuts are real.
No, I don't think that's going to happen at all, because I think President Trump has our back. I don't think it's going to happen at all. In fact, I am 100% disabled, and I received my check for April already. I don't think it's going to happen. I think that is propaganda. I think that's people talking out of school.
Just like in Vietnam, it's sometimes hard for veterans and the country to understand what's really going on, and even harder to know for sure how it's all going to turn out.
And now for something completely different, a unique way of celebrating the grand opening of a new exhibit in San Francisco. Hundreds of cakes were put on display outside the Legion of Honor for the museum's cake picnic. Guests were invited to bring in a cake to share with other attendees. It's all part of celebrating the new Wayne Thiebaud exhibit. The artist is known for his paintings of colorful pastries. In total, there were more than 1,300 cakes. That's double the number of cakes that were brought in for the first cake picnic back in November. That was celebrating the museum's 100 years. And coming up, the road to the Final Four goes through Chase Center. Hear from basketball fans in the Bay enjoying March Madness. Andrea?
And on Wednesday, So is the Battle of the Bay. We are excited to bring you the Oakland Ballers versus the San Jose Giants next Wednesday on PIX Plus. First pitch is at 6.
All right, let's get you ready for the rain. We've got a couple of different opportunities here coming over the course of the next 3 days. You can tell by the view out the window, and we looked at this at the top of the newscast. We're getting pretty close to the start of this. It's not going to be a lot, but as we play the initial waves forward, by like 11 o'clock tonight, midnight, we notice some of the first light showers show up. This is barely going to be measurable. But don't be surprised, you get a few drops of rain if you're up late on your Saturday and it's like 11 o'clock, midnight. The better rain is actually going to come in the very early morning hours of Sunday. So let me show you what that looks like. You'll see the colors change here. We're going to get this ahead to around like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. And I'm going to pause it there for a moment because by like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, now we're noticing some rain. Santa Clara Valley, North Bay Valley will have already gotten it. And this is probably the most impressive time frame of rain for the entire 24-hour period that is Sunday. I'll explain why I mean that in a second. Monday and Tuesday might have slightly better rain, but I think the best thing to do is to look at this in a different way. And instead of trying to pick out all of the different regions on there on the virtual map, let's try and put it in something that gives us a really good handle on specific waves of rain and timing. So there's the rain that comes through 10, 11 o'clock. It's not much. That's what I said would be the best rain right there for your Sunday morning. Look at the time frame, 3 in the morning, and you can see the yellow showing up. It's moderate rain, nothing super heavy. But this is when we pick up maybe 1/4 inch of rain before sunrise tomorrow. Then after sunrise, it turns into scattered showers throughout the day. And I'm just going to let that go because it doesn't change much from like sunrise through about like early afternoon. And then things will start to wind down. There will be more time on your Sunday when you are not getting rained on than when you are. These are going to be really short showers. They're going to be widely spaced, and they won't amount to much. Remember, the best rain is before sunrise. So any of this stuff's fairly light. And then we get a break. We get towards like 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow in the afternoon. You're going to see blue sky at times. And then you're just in a little bit of an opening because the next wave's coming in Monday. So here's Monday morning now. This might have a little more intensity to it, especially here. But again, this is pre-dawn. This is before the sun comes up on Monday. We'll keep the showers going. That looks a little more impressive there, certainly for the North Bay. But again, sun still hasn't come up. This is like early morning Monday commute. It'll be with us Bay Area wide through the morning commute and then into the afternoon, but same kind of character to this. Plenty of breaks of blue sky, and then a little cell of rain will come through. That is your Monday. And Tuesday will probably look a lot like that. I'll show you what part of Tuesday is going to look like on here because there comes the next little wave. Those are good little bands of rain coming through on Tuesday. This is likely going to be the back edge right here, and that gets us to like Tuesday afternoon. Let's put some rainfall totals on this. If we just take a look at the rain from the overnight stuff tonight, it's like 1/4 inch of rain. And that's basically the bulk of what we're going to get for Sunday. Let's look at Monday. We'll add Monday's totals in. Now we're looking at more like, twice as much. So we still haven't gotten to an inch yet, but you get a little more rain Monday. We'll add Tuesday's totals in. Now we get to about an inch of rain. So, and that's it. So it's about an inch of rain in the North Bay, but it's spread out over 3 days. So it's certainly manageable. It's not like we're concerned about this from any kind of a flooding standpoint or even a major roadway issue, but it'll be rainy here Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And then nothing back here. If you had been watching along with the forecast, for the last 4 days, we were looking at the possibility that the second half of this week might have another storm. That now looks like it's not going to happen. That system is turning into an inside slider. So no rain here, maybe snow in the Sierra, but not rain for us. All right, that's where the forecast stands for now.
Florida Gators, Texas Tech Raiders currently battling in the Elite Eight at Chase Center. Before those two teams tipped off in the Sweet 16, I wanted to see how much the NCAA fans knew about the NBA squad that calls San Francisco home.
Pig suey, Razorback!
Fans have traveled from all over. Where'd you come from?
Came from Texas, Lubbock, Texas.
Their battle cries are loud.
Woo! Pigs!
Outside the home of the Warriors, how much would they know about their teams? What year did you go to Maryland?
The 90s.
Okay, this is right up your alley. Which former Terp was selected first overall by the Warriors?
Joe Smith.
Joe Smith. You didn't even hesitate.
Yeah, Joe Smith, man, of course.
It wasn't Alex Len, was it?
No.
That's Joe Smith.
If you're a Razorback at Chase, you better know which dub used to rep in Fayetteville.
My mama blank, I'm on the spot.
Moses Moody.
Oh, Moses Moody, that's right.
Moses Moody. Too easy. You guys like Moses?
Hell yeah. Moses is a dog, man. He's a dog.
The Gators had the longest distance to travel and most difficulty answering questions. Do you know the two members of the Gators that were on the 2015 Warriors championship team?
Two Gators on the championship team would have been Michael Frazier?
No.
Oh, I would not know that.
You don't know that one?
No, but do you know who the 5 Gators were that won the first national championship?
No, you got to tell me that one. You switched it on me.
I think one of them was Maurice Spates.
One has a great nickname.
That doesn't help. Oh, Amari Spellman.
No, it's Mo Spates.
Oh, Maurice Spates!
I'm starting to feel bad for David Lee. Nobody knows who he is.
Oh, this is a tough one.
His initials are DL.
That's not Looney, is it? No.
Nobody knows the second guy. I feel bad
I don't
for
know
him.
why I want to say Mike Dunleavy Jr., but I know that's wrong.
David Lee.
Boom, you're one of the first people who has gotten it.
David Lee, I would not have gotten. Mo Spates, I should have gotten.
Everybody loves Mo Spates
I
around
should
here.
have gotten Mo Buckets. He's the man.
As someone from Florida, I lost a whole lot of faith in the maybe intelligence of the state when I said his initials are DL, and the man I was interviewing said Kevon Looney. Close.
All right, no comment on that one. Thanks, Matt.
And coming up, born from Oakland's hip-hop culture, we'll tell you about a burger spot bringing new excitement to Oakland's foodie scene.
It tastes good, and they need to come out with more burgers.
A brand new burger spot is bringing a whole lot of excitement to the Oakland's food scene. Itai Hod introduces us to the local influencer behind the Hyphy burger.
Darian Fraser knows good food. He spent years eating it, reviewing it,
We are in Paris.
and telling his more than 200,000 followers where to find it. But these days, his best culinary recommendation isn't on his feed. It's right here at the restaurant he owns.
None of us had any restaurant experience, so we didn't know exactly what the outcome was going to be.
Less than a month in, Hyphy Burger isn't just open, it's going dumb, which in Oakland speak is a very good thing.
This is kind of like the slowest it's been, and we kind of needed it, but...
This is slow?
Yeah.
If you watch MTV, you might be familiar with the term hyphy.
Hyphy, which started in Oakland in the early 2000s, is a lifestyle built on fast beats, loud cars, and even louder personalities.
It's the Bay culture. It's the music, it's the slang, even the airbrushing. This is part of Hyphy.
And just like the movement it's named after, this burger joint brings big flavor,
287!
big energy, and a cultural infusion to a city that could use it.
330?
Though crime numbers dropped in 2024, Oakland businesses have been shutting down for years, citing safety concerns and tough economic times. But Fraser and his partners seem to have cracked the code.
So just like this?
Yeah.
The secret, smash burgers, a little elbow grease,
Oh, look at that.
and of course, a whole lot of Hyphy. Customers like Oakland native Darlene Young are eating it up.
It tastes good, and they need to come out with more burgers.
Proving that sometimes all it takes is a grill, a dream, and working your buns off to flip the script on a city hungry for a comeback.
It's pretty good.
San Francisco residents are making good use of the now closed Great Highway space this weekend. The city installed a mini skills course for bikers of all ages. We spoke with a mom who brought her 2 little toddlers to the course.
Any sort of joy on their bikes is good for us, and get them outside and get them worn out so they sleep better and are less of a pain. And anytime we can do that, we'll want to do it.
The city of San Francisco is slated to open a new park space there on April 12th.
And that'll do it for us at 5. See you back here at 6. CBS Weekend News is next. And what about news update?
And news updates can always be found on KPIX.com. We'll see you in about an hour.